Now the topic before us is what makes a currency appreciate. There are many reasons for the appreciation of the currency of a country. First is high GDP growth. When a country consistently shows high GDP growth, economic performance of the country is good for the last many years. So the investors from all over the world get attracted towards that country. So the demand of the currency of that country increases, which results into the appreciation of the currency of that country. Next is higher interest rates. It may be possible that in any particular country, the yields of financial assets like bonds is higher in comparison to other countries. So the investors from all over the world would like to make investment in the financial assets of those countries, that particular country, which increases the demand for the currency of that country, and due to this there is appreciation in the value of currency of that country. Next is trade surplus. Trade surplus means exports are more in comparison to imports. When the exports are more, it means that the foreigners have to pay more than to get from that country. So to pay for the exports, the foreigners will have to buy the domestic currency. It increases the demand for domestic currency and ultimately results into the appreciation of domestic currency of the that particular country from where the exports are being made. Next is if there is political stability in any particular country and the economic performance of that country is good, then the investors from all over the world would like to make investment in that country. So it increases the demand for the currency of that country. Further, if the stock market in a particular country is undervalued, if the investors think so, then they would like to make investment in the share market of that country, and it increases the demand for the currency of that country, and it results into the appreciation of the currency of that country. Next is speculative activity. If the speculators believe that the currency of any particular country is likely to increase, if they think so, then they will naturally buy that currency in bulk. It will increase the demand and it will result into the appreciation of the currency. All these factors result into the appreciation of the currency. However, how much currency appreciates, it depends on the circumstances of each economy differently. So these factors affect any economy in a different way. We also like to mention that there is real life example of currency appreciation in the case of Australia. During early 2010s, 2000s, during the early 2000s, Australia witnessed currency appreciation against US dollar because there was high GDP growth, booming was there in mining sector, and there were robust exports of coal and iron ore. And further, the political environment of that country was stable. So all these factors in Australia in early 2000s helped in the appreciation of the currency of Australia. Now the topic before us is whether central bank intervenes in currency appreciation. Now the answer is generally the central bank do not intervene. Generally, the central bank is oftenly concerned with currency depreciation, that the currency of that country should not depreciate. However, if there is excessive currency depreciation, excessive currency appreciation, the central bank intervenes if there is excessive currency appreciation. Then why do they intervene in case of excessive currency appreciation? To protect their exporters, because to protect exporters, because when the currency of a country appreciates, the exporting goods become expensive for the foreign buyers. So the exports of that country are adversely affected, and it also results into the job losses of the sectors involved in exports. So to protect exporters, central bank do intervene in case of excessive appreciation. They also intervene to maintain competitiveness, export competitiveness in the global market. To remain competitive in the export market, they intervene. Now the question is, how do they intervene? They intervene by selling domestic currency. When the currency has excessively appreciated, the central bank of that country sells the domestic currency, and the supply of domestic currency increases in the market, and so the value of that currency reduces. Excessive depreciation is offset. The central bank may also purchase foreign exchange reserves. So when the central bank purchases the foreign exchange reserves or foreign exchanges, foreign currency is purchased by the central bank, it reduces the availability of foreign currency in the market, and it indirectly reduces the value of domestic currency, because the foreign currency becomes more valuable. The foreign currency is being purchased by the central bank, foreign currency becomes more valuable, and it indirectly affects the value of the domestic currency. It is not that intervention by the central bank is easy, because the foreign exchange market is very vast, and large scale intervention by the central bank may be very costly, and the central bank may not be always successful, because its forex market is very vast and complex. Further, if there is large scale intervention by the central bank in the forex market, then it may give signal to the market that the central bank is losing confidence in its domestic currency. If the central bank is purchasing currency, its own currency, in large bulk, then it may send signal to the others that it is, if the central bank is purchasing foreign currency, then the investor from the other countries may feel that the central bank is losing confidence in its own currency, and it may adversely affect the value of the domestic currency. Overall, the central bank has many tools to manage the currency appreciation. It is a very delicate act and it has its own challenges. Now the topic before us is currency appreciation. How does it affect the cost of imported goods? Currency appreciation means your domestic currency becomes stronger relative to foreign currencies. It means that we have to take fewer units of our domestic currency to buy the same amount of foreign goods. In essence, the import becomes cheaper for domestic buyers. We will understand the same with the help of an example. Suppose you are a company. Suppose you are a company in USA and you are importing shirts from France. Now we further assume that cost of each shirt is 100 euro. Now we also assume that when we are importing shirts, the exchange rate between US dollar and euro is as 120 US dollars is equal to 100 euro. It is when we are importing. Suppose there is appreciation in currency of US dollar and 100 US dollars become equal to 100 euro after appreciation. Earlier $120 were equal to 100 euro, but the domestic currency of USA, that is US dollars, has appreciated. So 100 US dollars have become equal to 100 euro. Now what is the cost of shirt? Now the cost of shirt is, earlier you had to pay 120 US dollars when you were importing. Now when there is appreciation in domestic currency of US dollars, you have to pay only 100 US dollars. So the cost of imported goods for the foreign buyers, that is the residents of USA, have become cheaper. Imported goods have become cheaper. In the early 2010s, the domestic currency of Japan, yen, had also appreciated. Because of the appreciation of Japanese yen, the cost of Japanese goods have become cheaper for the foreign buyers. As we can understand the same with the help of an example. Suppose a popular smartphone was being imported from, say, USA. Japanese people are importing smartphone from USA and the cost of one smartphone is 500 US dollars, the cost when they are importing. And earlier, when they are importing, 1 US dollar is equal to 100 Japanese yen. Now the Japanese yen has appreciated. Suppose after appreciation, $1 is equal to 100 Japanese. So earlier, to purchase or to import a smartphone, Japanese people have to pay 50,000 Japanese yen. Earlier, when there was no appreciation, when the exchange rate was $1 is equal to 100 Japanese yen. Now, as Japanese yen has appreciated, now the Japanese people have to pay only 40,000, 80 into 500, only 40,000 Japanese yen. So, when the currency of any country appreciates, it gives more purchasing power in the hands of the residents of the appreciating country. So imports become cheaper. We hope you might have understood the concept very clearly. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.